The iPhone 15 already has one big problem, and the iPhone 16 has already leaked. Seriously. But before we get to all that, we've got some brand new info on new Macs, new iPads, new AirPods, and other new Apple goodies that may be launching before the end of this year. In fact, Apple may be planning one more surprise event that'll happen in just a couple of weeks that'll give us the last new Apple products for this year. So let me tell you when this event could be, the top 5 new Apple products we would see, the problems with the iPhone 15 that has many people up in arms, and also, yeah, the iPhone 16 is official. We've got some new leaks. Let me tell you what you need to know. So the iPhone 15 has been out for what? About a week at the time this video goes live, and there's already a big gate that is causing a lot of controversy in the iPhone world. Jellygate, Beautygate, the famous antenna gate from the iPhone 4. There's always some issues with the iPhone when it first launches, and this year is no exception with thermal gate. I don't know if we have an official gate term for this year, but a lot of people are unhappy because the iPhone 15 Pro is hot, and not in a good way. Many new owners of the 15 Pro or Pro Max are taking to the internet to give a little criticism to Apple because their phones are running warm, not just like a little warm, but like warm to the touch where it's almost too hot to hold. Of course, the internet is very split on whether this is a big issue or a small issue or whether it's even an issue at all. Some say they experience the issue when they're just launching through apps or recording videos or scrolling through social media posts. It seems to be a really apparent issue when the phone is charging, like especially if it's fast charging. And I'll tell you from my personal experience, I have actually experienced my 15 Pro Max getting uncomfortably warm. I first noticed it when I was transferring data from my 14 Pro Max to the 15 Pro Max. You know how there's like that phone-to-phone transfer. After about 30 minutes when the transfer was done, the phone was hot, like specifically in this corner of the phone, sort of the top right-ish area, depending on how you're looking at the phone, right by the buttons. It was getting uncomfortably warm there to hold and seemed to be happening after the CPU was being used for a prolonged period of time. And instead of me just talking about this, what if I did a little test? So actually, while I've been filming this video, I've been here for about, I don't know, 10 minutes. I've been fast charging my 15 Pro Max back there. So let me switch lenses so things don't get too shaky here and go check. Because a lot of people were saying that they were having issues when the phone was charging or fast charging. And obviously the brick and cable don't matter, but I've just been charging it back here. No, the phone actually feels fine. Maybe it's because the charging happens at a faster rate when the phone is more at a diminished capacity. My phone was fairly fully charged this morning. It was about, I don't know, 75%, so it wasn't charging super fast. And it feels fine. Sorry for the brightness there. I will tell you where it sort of started to feel uncomfortable was this area right here. I'm not sure. I'd have to do a teardown and see or look at some images or videos of what is right there. But that is where it felt warm. And when I was jumping through apps or recording videos or doing that phone transfer, sorry, it's a little overexposed, that is where I was feeling it, right in this back section right there. Again, I wasn't doing a super heavy fast charging for a prolonged period of time, so maybe that's why it's not feeling warm, or the issue just sort of comes and goes, but yeah. Feels okay right now, but wasn't always the case for me. The best explanation as to why this is happening that I've seen so far is this X post from Vadim from Max Tech. And if you don't know Max Tech, it's a very popular YouTube channel. They do a great job of really doing a deep dive into the latest Apple products and doing some great benchmarking. Check out the channel if you haven't already. But he has an interesting theory that I think makes a whole lot of sense. His post notes that Apple may be allowing for a very high 14 watts maximum power usage from this chip and says it could contribute to overheating. Quote, when you open and switch between various apps, it spikes the power usage really high for a quick second to get it loaded quickly, and when you multitask with different processes running. And as he correctly notes, this could be a pretty simple fix from Apple's end. All they'd have to do is just sort of lower that maximum power in software, so that could just be a software update that comes and fixes the issue. Again, not sure if it's affecting everyone, but I will say personally, I have experienced it. If you have a 15 Pro, does it get a little hot to the touch? Let me know your thoughts on this down below in the comments, and we can discuss whether this is a new gate or not. All right, moving on from that, let's talk about what Apple might have in store for us before the end of the year, because according to some leaks and rumors, Apple's not done just yet, and a new event, the last event of 2023, might be coming in just a couple of weeks. As always, you gotta take all of these Apple rumors and leaks with a grain of salt, but some have suggested that we might see an October event that could be Apple's chance to debut a couple of new products from a couple of new product categories. We could see updates to the iPad, AirPods, maybe some new Macs as well, though again, not sure if it's gonna happen or not. They could hold an event, they could do a press release online and just quietly update the Apple Store online with some new stuff. They could do nothing. Apple is known for being very mysterious and is gonna keep us guessing and keep us on our toes basically through the end of the year, of course. And I've got a whole lot to share on that, but first, let me take a quick moment to tell you about this video's sponsor, BetterHelp. Now, as excited as I am for all the new Apple products we could see and this event that could be happening soon, there's a reason why people call these months Techtember and Techtober. It's like the tech news just does not stop. It can be a lot, and between all the writing and shooting and editing and all that goes into making videos like this, to me at least, it can get a little overwhelming. Personally, I found talking these things out with somebody else to be rewarding and refreshing and just plain necessary for me to sort of see things from a different perspective and overcome some mental obstacles I've got going on in my head. And if you've got something in your life causing you stress, anxiety, you've just got a difficult situation going on right now, therapy can give you the tools you need to really approach your life in a whole different way, which is why I'm so excited to partner with this video sponsor, BetterHelp. They are on a mission to make therapy more affordable and more accessible, which is incredibly important because finding a therapist can be difficult these days, especially if you're in an area with limited options. But BetterHelp is here to make this whole process so much smoother and so much simpler. It's fully remote, it's fully online, and just by answering a couple of questions, you can get matched with a professional therapist in as little as a couple of days. BetterHelp makes it so easy to sign up and get matched with a therapist. In fact, you can start right now just by clicking the link down below or going to betterhelp.com/AppleCircle. Our special link is gonna get you 10% off your first month so you can connect with a therapist and see if it helps you. And most importantly, if you just don't have that connection with your therapist or doesn't feel like a good fit, it's not a worry, it's super common, and you don't have to worry about insurance or in-network, out-of-network, none of that stuff. BetterHelp makes it super simple and super easy to switch to a new therapist, no additional cost required. Like I mentioned, for me, talking to someone, gaining that outside perspective, getting the tools I need to sort of overcome a situation can be so important, so refreshing, and just so necessary. So if you're struggling, consider online therapy with BetterHelp. Get started today by clicking the link down below, or again, head to betterhelp.com/AppleCircle. On the Mac side, we know that Apple is hard at work on the new M3 family of chips that is going to be going into all of the Macs we've got right now to give us better efficiency and better performance. This will update the MacBook Pro at some point, the Mac Studio, the MacBook Air as well. Every Apple computer that uses Apple Silicon, of course, which is all of them now, will be getting an update, with one model in particular in desperate need of an update, and that is the iMac, because the iMac did get a very nice industrial, colorful redesign a couple of years ago. But it's been a few years since Apple was at their Spring Loaded event showing off this machine, and even today, in 2023, it still comes equipped with the M1 chip, and there are some theories that Apple is going to replace this very soon with the M3 chip, and maybe launch an all-new iMac with the M3 chip, this being the first M3 Mac we see, possibly before the end of the year. Shifting gears to the iPad, this is where things get both exciting and also a little boring, because there are some exciting upgrades Apple has planned for some iPad models, while other iPad models that need some big upgrades are kind of gonna remain a little unchanged. Let's take a look at the iPad Pro, for example, because it seems like it's been a while since the iPad Pro has really gotten any substantial upgrade or redesign. And I mean, this design still looks great even in 2023, but I think this iPad redesign came out, back in 2018? So times have changed since then. Maybe we could see the dynamic island, maybe some bigger screens, or maybe some new screen technology, and that seems to be right on the money, because according to a couple of different sources who are leaking information, Apple may be planning some OLED iPads for 2024 that are going to take the mini LED screens, replace them with OLED technology, and take these screens to a whole new level. You're going to get individual pixel level control over what's lit up, what's not lit up. It should be bright, vibrant, colorful. The latest rumors say that while yes, Apple is actively working on some sort of folding iPad Pro, and this could be the first folding device we see from Apple, looks like Apple is going to stick with what they've got right now and increase the screen size up to 14 and possibly 16-inch models for the all-new new next-gen iPad Pros, giving you an even bigger display experience on your Pro iPad. And besides the iPad Pro, it seems like for better or worse, all the other iPads in the lineup are going to be getting some updates over the next 12 months, maybe even pretty soon, but they're going to be minor spec bump updates. Even the iPad mini, which could really benefit from a ProMotion 120Hz display, doesn't seem to be getting any screen update. It might get a processor bump. Next, let's talk AirPods, because this is where things also get very interesting. Apple sort of quietly introduced an all-new version of AirPods Pro with a USB-C charging case with the new iPhone 15 lineup, and while Apple made it seem like just, sort of swapping the port from Lightning to USB-C was the only change, there are actually some other smaller and some more significant changes. They're almost sort of like 2.5. Not only did Apple swap the port with USB-C on the charging case, but there's also better dust resistance with these AirPods Pro, and according to Apple, these are the only AirPods Pro model, this one with the USB-C case, that's going to support lossless audio streaming to the upcoming Vision Pro headset. To be clear, this doesn't mean your other AirPods or AirPods Pro won't work with Vision Pro, but only the newest ones, the latest and greatest ones, are going to support the lossless audio streaming from the Vision Pro headset to your ears with AirPods Pro. We're not exactly sure how big of a deal this is, if it's going to be a big deal or not, but I will say that while I have resisted the urge to buy new AirPods Pro, you can find them on sale already. I think Best Buy and Amazon and other retailers already have them $50 off. I will find a couple of the best deals, so if you do want to pick up new AirPods Pro, leave a link to that down below if you want to check it out. Another AirPods product in pretty desperate need of an upgrade these days is AirPods Max. These came out at the very end of 2020, now almost 3 years old, and while they're great and very well loved, they're starting to show their age a bit, and there are some parts of them that really do need an upgrade. For example, Lightning is sort of out now, USB-C is in, so Apple should swap that out. We've also heard rumors of some new colors coming to AirPods Max, and also the holding case, the charging case, whatever you want to call it. This carrying case is an absolute monstrosity. It is horrible, it's awful to use, and Apple should be upgrading it with AirPods Max version 2. There's also been talk that maybe we could see a sport version or maybe a price drop. Not sure Apple's going to approach that, though AirPods Max should be coming very soon with these updates. So if you're in the market to buy, you might just want to wait for a couple of weeks to see if we do get a surprise AirPods Max Gen 2 reveal, or if Apple's really going to hold that until 2024. I feel like the longer it stays with the Lightning connector, the more outdated it looks, so this is in desperate need of an update, basically, hopefully before its third birthday. And then the iPhone 16, which, yes, I've got some leaks on the iPhone 16, we've got some new information. I know we're about a year out, but if you want the latest, here's what you need to know. Again, take these with a major grain of salt, but as of right now, the iPhone 16 lineup is looking to be pretty exciting with a couple of notable upgrades. One of the biggest is that Apple might actually go from a 4-phone lineup to a 5-phone lineup, possibly keeping the Pro Max, and then introducing a model above that, the long-rumored iPhone 16 Ultra. Not sure if we're gonna see both Pro Max and Ultra, or Ultra is going to replace the Pro Max. Not sure how that's gonna happen, but an Ultra does seem to be in the early rumor list of what is to come next year. These early rumors tell us a couple of exciting things. One is that the 5x telephoto zoom only on the larger 15 Pro Max right now will come to both of the iPhone 16 Pro models, or maybe all three next year, so you wouldn't have to get the Pro Max to get the better optical zoom range on your iPhone. Also, the regular iPhone 16 and 16 Plus may be getting a big screen upgrade with a higher refresh rate. We don't know if it's going to be 120 Hz or maybe it's 90 Hz, but it looks like next year might be the end of 60 Hz as we know it on iPhones, as Apple finally bumps it up a bit to be a bit more buttery smooth and more responsive with 90 or hopefully 120 Hz on every single iPhone 16 model in the lineup. We're also hearing the canceled solid-state buttons that Apple tried to put in the 15 Pro series this year might make their debut next year with the 16 Pro series, and also Apple might slightly increase the size of the iPhone displays next year, at least with the Pro models, to be a bit bigger and a bit larger, sort of like the iPad Pro is getting a bit of a screen increase in size. The same would be coming to the Pro series as well, giving you a bigger display on your new iPhone 16 Pro. And last but certainly not least, some early rumors suggest that the iPhone 16 Ultra, the best iPhone in the lineup next year, might be getting an additional camera on the back of the phone. So in addition to ultra-wide, wide, and telephoto, you might get one more lens to work with and utilize to give you the most pro camera setup on any iPhone ever. We don't know what that lens is going to be or how it's going to work or how it could work with the other lenses, but at least an early rumor says that maybe we're going to get a new look on the back of the 16 Ultra, which is going to give us another lens on the back of that high-end iPhone. All right, everybody, so I'm curious, what are your thoughts on the Apple news that we've got over the last couple of days? Your thoughts on the 15 Pro, if you pick one up, do you like it? Do you not like it? Are you experiencing that sort of thermal issue right here? Let me know down below. Also, Apple news, do you think we're gonna see an October event? Are you excited about any new iPads or Macs or AirPods updates we could see? An iPhone 16, are you excited? Are you not excited? What do you wanna see from the iPhone 16? Let me know down below. As always, I appreciate you guys watching. Thank you so much. I'm Robert Rosenfeld from the Apple Circle, and I'll see you all in the next one.